A Senate committee has narrowly approved a measure to give the governor sweeping new power over the heads of several state agencies. Supporters insist the bill is needed to maintain proper oversight of sensitive information. Opponents counter the measure is unnecessary and risks politicizing key functions of state government.
Oklahoma maintains a drug database designed to help stem the high rate of prescription drug abuse and the rise of illicit methamphetamine labs in the state. State Senator Nathan Dahm says it was his concerns about that database which led to Senate Bill 829, calling for the heads of several state agencies to be fired and replaced by the governor.
The executive directors right now, all of those do have access to the drug database, the pharmaceutical database that we have, trying to keep people from doctor shopping and doing meth. And so my first question was, well, what kind of background checks or anything do they have to go through? And I think there was 2 of them that actually don't do any sort of background check now.
The bill targets 10 agencies, including the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, the Oklahoma Health Care Authority, and the State Board of Health. According to the text of the bill, effective January 1st, 2016, the employment of the executive director, commissioner, or chief executive officer of the agencies, boards, or commissions listed in subsection B of this section, previously hired or contracted for employment by authority of the governing boards listed herein, shall be terminated. That language raised concerns about the bill's potential cost, including the issue of severance pay, concerns that Dahm says are overblown.
Right now, with the way it's written, there isn't anything to prohibit the existing executive director from staying on and being appointed by the governor. That might be something that is definitely a possibility.
Opponents of the measure also raised the issue of loss of institutional knowledge if agency heads are fired.
One of these agencies had an executive director in place for 30 years. You cannot get that kind of institutional memory over here at the House or the Senate, not with the term limits that we have.
State Senator Kay Floyd questions whether the bill is truly necessary.
It is a meat cleaver to a situation that is easily fixed by statute by simply enforcing or strengthening confidentiality laws that are already in place.
Floyd's biggest fear is the potential for injecting politics into the process of selecting agency heads.
When we have a governor who can make it any position political, then we run into a huge area of potential abuse and misuse.
State Senator Anastasia Pittman also questions the need for the bill.
Why is it necessary for each executive director to be appointed by the governor when the board is appointed by the governor and the board nominates and hires and fires the executive directors?
A spokesman for Governor Mary Fallin says the governor did not request the bill, but does support it. Fallin's office has clashed with agency heads before, most notably former Corrections Director Justin Jones, who finally stepped down 3 years into the governor's first term. While some committee members are concerned the bill gives the governor too much authority over agency directors, others believe it doesn't go far enough.
If you have the seal of the state of Oklahoma on your letterhead and your business cards, you are answerable to the legislature and to the executive to some degree.
State Senator Cory Brooks would like to see the bill expanded to include more agencies, including the Departments of Corrections and Veterans Affairs.
We have veterans being boiled alive, we have veterans being neglected, we have veterans going through all sorts of issues that's given us a huge, ugly stain to some of the people that are most deserving of our most intense care. But yet, the governor cannot just unilaterally change leadership there, as I think is desperately needed.
Dahm says he's open to changes in the bill, calling it a work in progress.
It is something that I want to have the discussion with all the different entities and with not just the committee members, but our chamber and the House and the governor's office. So I want to be able to keep this moving forward so we can have those discussions.
Dahm insists he won't push for the bill to become law this year, but hopes to study the issue after the legislature adjourns and take it up in the 2016 legislative session.